It appears there was another attempt to assassinate Donald Trump, but because of the work of the Secret Service, as well as the FBI, this was halted. It's actually a really simple story, and very little actually was accomplished. It looks like a tree stand was discovered with clear view of Trump's Palm Beach Air Force One exit. This is what some people have referred to as a deer stand. It's a platform put into a tree. Now, some on the left are saying, it's a hunting platform. No one was trying to kill Trump. And the response was, right, because people are hunting in Palm Beach. I'm going to say it again. This looks like an attempted assassination of Donald Trump, but it was caught before anything could happen. Now, there are some interesting things here. For one, with the No Kings riots, there have been many, many calls for violence escalation, and that ain't an exaggeration. And in this story, it's actually a bit scarier. If we go back a month or just over a month, Charlie Kirk's assassination, there were several social media accounts that seemed to express foreknowledge that Charlie Kirk would be assassinated. How? We don't know, but the FBI is investigating this. Some people say there is a deeper network at play, and this alleged assassin is not the real shooter. I actually think the FBI is investigating this, and I believe it's entirely possible this is not the actual shooter. And there's a possibility the furry boyfriend is the real shooter, as it would explain through Discord chats, communications, and meetings why so many transgender individuals on X seem to have foreknowledge of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now, in this, one of the people that expressed foreknowledge said Trump December 14th. Seemingly indicating there would be an attempt made on Donald Trump in December. I wonder, was this platform part of that plot? There's no real evidence to suggest anything beyond what we've seen so far. But I genuinely believe these people are planning murder. We watch them in the streets attack police. We see the ramming of DHS vehicles. Did you see the video from earlier that I posted on my morning segment, the 10 a.m., where the man in Chicago calls for people to buy guns to murder ICE agents? And now we're here. The Daily Wire reporting. Secret Service finds tree stand with clear view of Trump's Palm Beach Air Force One exit. This incident underscores the importance of our layered security measures. The United States Secret Service has discovered an elevated tree stand with a clear view of the area where President Trump routinely disembarks from Air Force One in Palm Beach, Florida. Eric Trump responded to the news, praising the Secret Service for finding the potential threat and taking care of it. Hunting stand. For all the whitetail on Southern Boulevard. He began sarcastically before adding, located directly across the street from Palm Beach International Airport, in the median of a major highway, directly facing the Air Force One stairs, 200 yards. Now, I want to stress this. Following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the shot was around 120 to 150 yards, estimate. And people were claiming, that's a professional shot. You got to be a pro to make a shot like that. You don't. Now, 200 is a little bit more difficult, but still, I don't think people understand. So many people have not gone to the range. These are not the most difficult shots to make. Now, 200 yards is a little bit more, but not by much. And so the argument is, at 120 yards, you could be trained to make that shot within 1 to 2 hours. Guys, I am not good. I'm not a gun guy. I have a lot of guns, but I am not a gun culture enthusiast who can tell you all about guns. I go to the range. And let me tell you, 50 yards, iron sights with slugs, I don't miss. Small targets. I've got a lever action 357 Magnum, iron sights. One of my favorite guns. 50 yards, don't miss. These are iron sights. It's not a scope. This is just standing, okay? Now, 50 yards, fine. You might say 50 yards is not 120 or 150. My point is, me with minimal training, we go out to the range and we're at 100 yards, and with iron sights, people are hitting the steel targets. People with minimal experience. Guys, long guns are not that difficult for the average person to figure out. Now, 200 yards is a bit more difficult, but with a scope, properly zeroed, and a small amount of training, this seems like a legitimate assassination plot caught at the very early stages. Look at this photo. There's literally no reason for a tree platform to be placed in Palm Beach facing Trump's airport. It makes no sense. The elevated stand, which would typically be used for hunting, was discovered on Thursday, according to a report published by Fox News Digital. It appeared to have been there for some time. It has not been linked to any potential suspects. According to the USSS Chief, Secret Service, of Communications, Anthony Guglielmi, there was no one in the vicinity when the stand was discovered during preparations for Trump's arrival at Palm Beach. There was no impact on any movement. No individuals were present or involved. While we are not able to provide details about the specific items or their intent, this incident underscores the importance of our layered security measures. The FBI is currently investigating the situation, Director Kash Patel confirmed on Sunday. Let me show you this. This is Grok. Grok, I asked it a question. It says, one recurring theme in these discussions was an account that not only predicted Kirk's death, but also specified a date for Trump. A now deleted X account predicted Kirk's assassination a week in advance and then posted, quote, Donald Trump, December 14th. This was interpreted as a threat implying Trump's assassination on December 14th, 2025. The account was deleted post-event, but screenshots circulated widely, with users urging the FBI to investigate it as part of the broader probe. This fits patterns seen in other numerology-based posts comparing dates. July 13th for Trump, summing to a pattern leading to September 10th for Kirk. Potentially, I don't know about any numerology. The point is, someone seemed to express foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk's assassination and then also said Trump on the 14th. I think these people are talking. I think they're making plans. We have this from Jennifer Jacobs. An empty hunting stand was discovered last week not far from the Palm Beach airport, where Air Force One was scheduled to land when Trump arrived in Florida for the weekend. The tree stand across the highway in a tree line more than 200 yards away had apparently been there for months based on its condition. Sources told CBS News because of airport reconstruction over the last year, that section wasn't being used for Air Force One arrivals and departures. After construction wrapped, Air Force One was due to use that part of the airport again. Agents searched the area as part of their advance work and discovered the hunting stand. The FBI was looking into the matter. So who built it? Why is it there? And there's no reason at all. There's literally no hunting anywhere in this area. This is an urban environment. I think it's pretty obvious. Advanced placement. Now, it's possible. It could have been reconnaissance. I don't think so. But let's entertain the realities. You guys comment. You tell me why you think a hunting stand was installed in a tree facing where Air Force One lands. Here's what I think. They were doing the reconstruction, the renovation. Air Force One was landing in a different area. Somebody then said, they're not going to be searching now. Now's our chance. Installed the platform so that they could get a more accurate shot later on. They were hoping that because of the construction going on, the renovations, Secret Service wouldn't be actively checking an area where the president wasn't going to be. But when the renovations were done, Trump would be there, and the Secret Service may overlook this advanced placed platform. They caught it. They're shutting it down. Guys, I think people don't want to admit what time it is. Okay, there's a video of a man in Chicago calling on people to buy guns and murder DHS agents. This is not some fringe leftist underground meeting. This was the No Kings protest. This was run-of-the-mill liberals going out and a guy taking a megaphone and saying, go buy guns and do bad thing. I think it's pretty obvious where we are in this nation. And also, I got to add, guys, they already tried to kill Trump now 3 times. There was the Crooks incident where the bullet grazed his ear, but for the grace of God, Trump survived, tilting his head. There was the other incident in Florida where the man set up armor, got down on the golf course. And then, of course, there was the plot from the Iranian. Now, all of these stopped. The Crooks incident wasn't. I mean, it's terrifying. Well, let me put it this way. When Crooks gets that shot off and actually strikes Trump, and Trump survives. The next incident got almost that close and was stopped. The next incident was stopped in the planning stages. This incident seemed to have been caught in its preliminary organizational phase. I'm going to say it again. You tell me why you think someone installed a hunting platform in a tree outside the airport where Trump lands his plane. Makes no sense. Ain't nobody hunting what? Iguanas in Palm Beach? I think for those that are paying attention, you can see the riots. You can see the escalation. It's pretty clear where we are as a country and what things like this will lead to. Now, I don't know what y'all will do, but I got to tell you something. The conversations that are being had in private with what we do here, you guys saw that someone tried setting Benny Johnson's house on fire. He received a death threat. The DOJ went after the guy. I've told you that I've been in direct contact with the FBI over threats that we've received, and they're serious and deemed credible. We try to avoid having more in-depth conversations on this stuff because we don't want to expose security threats or risks. But let me just tell you how serious these conversations are getting. There have been several conversations now between me, my security team, my staff, my family, about whether or not these threats and the escalation that we have seen are warranting termination of Timcast IRL. There are no plans for the end of Timcast IRL. I know that you guys are going to be like, Tim, you've gotten all emotional in the past, said you were going to shut things down. And I get it. It's a difficult job. What with the threats, the stress, the workload, etc. But this is serious. We have been doxxed, threatened. We have had incidents I can't even begin to discuss. A man in a dress attacking a resident at our old property, swattings, bomb threats, and now with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it's escalated to an extreme degree. Family members are deeply concerned. Threats are starting to expand outward. And so the conversation that we've basically had with, security is, what we're looking at right now is this preliminary phase. I shouldn't say preliminary. It's we have seen the death, the murder, the killings. We at Timcast are now beyond just the it's crazy people online phase. With the assassination of Charlie Kirk and some real world incidents, security is saying you are in the fray. There will come a point where we cannot afford the cost of security because we have to keep increasing it. We have armed guards. We have a security perimeter. We have, I'm not going to get into full details on our security. The Charlie Kirk Memorial, for instance, we couldn't go because the police assessment, and I shouldn't, but I'm gonna. I'm sick and tired of people not discussing this. Guys, I mean it. There are many conservatives that don't. Did Benny Johnson come out and tell you? And no disrespect to Benny. But Benny didn't come out when he received this death threat letter. He didn't come out and say, hey, guys, look at what they're doing to us. He went to the police. He went to the feds. They found the guy, and only after he was caught, they said, this thing happened. People genuinely do not understand the threat of violence and the escalation. They don't understand where we are because people on the right aren't discussing it. They say, don't say anything because you don't want to make it worse. I don't think it can get worse. So we've had these conversations where we are looking at the cost of doing business and the security for the Charlie Kirk incident. I'm going to say it. The police assessment, this is not an exaggeration. I was told police, private security in the area, as well as our national private security company, the chance of a terror attack was considered 100%. It didn't happen, but for the grace of God, thank heavens. But I want to stress this. They're not saying we know for a fact it will happen. They are saying what we are told. The intel that we've gathered, the statements and celebration of the assassination calls for more, has led us to the determination there is an active attempt to commit a terror attack at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. For this reason, we are recommending you not travel. And I said, There's going to be tons of people there. We have security assurances. We're told everything's going to be fine. And the response was, again, the local assessment, the police assessment, and our security company assessment is there is an active attempt to commit a mass casualty incident at this moment. The intel suggests it. This is not we believe it's reasonable to conclude. They said, no, our intelligence suggests the plot is happening. We don't know that it will happen. We know there's an active attempt. That's probably why that guy did advanced security. You see that story where the guy was caught wandering around claiming to be law enforcement, had a weapon. It turned out he was a security guard doing advanced recon. That's how serious it was. So we said, what's the cost to go to this event? And they laid out the plan. 2 guards on the plane with you traveling from D.C. to Arizona to be met by 2 additional guards. You will be brought through the airport and immediately rushed into, under guard cover, an unarmed SUV. I'm not unarmed, and armored. We'll bring you to a hotel location off-site where we'll have 2 guards stationed outside of your room 24/7. They will then secure the area. I'm not kidding. This is what we were told because Charlie Kirk had just been killed some 9 days prior, and people online were saying, kill Tim Pool. The security assessment was this serious. We'll bring you to the VIP entrance. You'll then be brought to the facility where you will have an active bodyguard at all times. And I said, this is insane. What's the cost? You can estimate the cost. We're talking, I think, like high 5 to low 6 figures. Because of like bombs, like is nuts. Advanced reconnaissance bomb sweeps on the hotels. And I'm like, for me? I'm not the president. I think the reason why people don't want to say it, and nobody wanted to say it, was because the terrorists would win. If people came out and said that's how serious the threats were to the Kirk Memorial, people wouldn't want to show up and the terrorists would win. People were calling me a coward and a pussy and all this stuff, saying you should go. Guys, I just had a kid. My family has real concerns. I understand. Shout out to Benny Johnson. He was there. He has a family too. I can only speak for myself. We couldn't afford the security. We didn't think it was smart to go. A couple weeks ago, I went to Arizona and did the show, joined Charlie Kirk's show. We had advanced security and all that, but things had simmered down. This is not a joke. The finding of this platform is not an accident. You are not paranoid. I think it's time to realize what time it is. Let me tell you a quick story. Some of you have heard me tell this story before. I was driving back from Colorado. My brother-in-law was in Iraq. He was a medic. My sister was distraught. I was going to go to California, but I said, I'll stop in Colorado, visit my sister. She was a nervous wreck. And so I stayed at her place for about 2 months. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to Chicago. I was visiting her. It was fun. It was Fort Carson, Colorado. So I drove back to Illinois. It's like a 16-hour drive or something. I finally make it back to the suburbs. I'm entering Glen Ellen when a local police vehicle pulls up behind me, gets real close, and I'm assuming I'm about to get pulled over. Starts running my plates. And I have no idea why. I'm not speeding. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just coming back from a military base, for heaven's sake, right? Well, the vehicle then merges right, zooms past me, is gone off in the distance. So I drive under this bridge, and I see off in the distance, there's the police vehicle in the left turn lane about to turn into a residential area. And I think to myself, that was weird. I should probably just get off the road. I can pull into this supermarket right now, and I can park my car, get in my car, and just walk away. I'm being crazy, right? I'm paranoid. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't speeding. So I say, I'm not going to get off. This is ridiculous. So I keep driving for another 30, 40 seconds. And I'm in the right lane, and he's in the left turn lane. I pass him. As soon as I do, he pops the lights on, pulls behind me, and pulls me over. He walks up to the window, and he knocks on the door, and I roll it down. He goes, Tim Pool? And I said, yes, sir. And he goes, out of the car, you're under arrest for driving on a suspended license. I didn't know my license was suspended. What had happened was I had got a speeding ticket before leaving, and instead of it was a bogus ticket. I wasn't speeding. I was exiting off Lakeshore Drive, but I didn't think it mattered. I was like, it's speeding, you pay it, right? Well, apparently 2 moving violations under the age of 21, from 18 to 21, or actually from 16 to 21, and they suspend your license for 3 months. I had no idea. And so I own up to that. He asked me my name. He pulled me over without any wrongdoing and said, driving on a suspended license. He had no right to pull me over because simply the vehicle being owned by me does not mean I was the one driving it. But I digress. By all means, comment and say, I shouldn't have been driving. I should have known. Ignorance of the law. Well, whatever, man. The point was this. I saw the car behind me. I knew he was going to pull me over. I said, maybe I should just park the car and get out. Nah, I'm being paranoid. The point of the story is normalcy bias, optimism bias. It can't happen. It won't happen. They found a hunting platform pointed at Trump's landing area. We know exactly what the plan was. I don't think this is a time for us to sit there and think, no, it can't happen. It won't happen. It's literally happening. Someone already tried to kill Trump. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. Stay tuned. We got more coming up for you throughout the day. And we'll see you all in the next segment.